What up? This is A-Trak. You're watching Hot New Hip Hop. Kanye and I worked together for 4 years, and even then, I stopped touring with him in '08. That's a long time ago. That's 7 years ago. But we're since then there's like 7 years of friendship that still continued. I've known that guy for 10 years. Kanye helped design my stage show on one of my tours. Like we're really involved with each other's work. It's the kind of thing that like it's almost like. It's like a lot of people ask me, when are you going to collaborate with your brother, for example? Like dudes like my brother from Chromeo, Dave, Ye, like those guys, I'm so close to them that we don't even feel like we need to credit each other sometimes. If Ye helped design my stage show, I'm not going to be like, come to my tour, designed by Kanye West. It's like, no, he just gave me a really good idea and then I developed it. If Dave kind of like gives me an idea for a chorus on the song, we're not going to be like, co-produce same shit, or on Chromeo if I'm like helping engineer something. We're around each other all the time and we help each other out. Low Pros wasn't even really conceptualized until it happened. Like what happened really is I started talking to Lex a little while back, and then we wanted to get in the lab together. So I planned a trip to Atlanta. And since I don't go there often, and I'd been wanting to go to the studio in Atlanta for a while because I'm just such a fan of so much music from there, going all the way back to Dungeon Family and older stuff. So, and I've always heard about how open people are to working together. So I kind of just put out a couple calls to people that I had started talking to anyways. I had just started talking to Metro Boomin like a couple weeks prior. This is like a year or so ago, a year and a half ago. So I went to Atlanta and reached out to him, but then reached out to Young Thug, which was like maybe Stoner had just come out or something. It was really when he was starting to bubble. And then Thug brought PeeWee. Rome Fortune was at those sessions. Childish Major was at those sessions. By the way, I got to know McConan through that whole thing too, because when I became friends with Sunny Digital and Metro, they played me his stuff like a year ago. Spins, by the way, from Hoodrich, DJ Spins, he's very much a part of the project too. TM88, 808 Mafia, that's all part of that project. And so even though those guys are all open to collaborating, some of them hadn't actually worked together. So, even Metro and Lex, they knew each other, but they had never worked together until I kind of put in a call to both of them, It was interesting because everybody was open to it, but some of their managers, for example, or the guys that were just sort of like standing to the sides at the sessions, those dudes would sort of take me aside at one point and be like, you don't really realize, but it's kind of crazy that you got all these people working together. And they were open to it, and it was easy, and there's no egos in the room. And sometimes it just takes someone from the outside to be like, hey, Young Thug, hey, Metro, hey, Lex, let's do something, and then it just happens. I'm sitting on enough music to put out. If I wanted to put out 2 more EPs right now, I could, but I'm just I'm trying to just make sure that the songs we put out are the right ones for the right moment, and to have the impact that I want, because I think the first EP was really about establishing what Low Pros is, and then we ended with the video of 100 Bottles, which kind of established the visual aesthetic, and then we recently put out the video for Who Wanna Play, which is going to be on the second EP, but I'm still kind of tinkering with the songs from that second EP, because I want there to be a growth. I think so. I hope so. Cam, our schedules don't always coincide. We made a bunch of music at once, about a year and a half ago, or a little less, a little over a year ago, I guess. And, we put out those 2 songs kind of back to back. And then Cam went on tour and I went on tour. And now they're doing the Dipset reunion, which is great. I want, that was part of my idea, is to bring that together. So if we can get the schedules right, I'm always down. We kind of missed each other a few times. But I'm really happy with the impact we made last year anyways, because the video we did for Dipshits, and even the fact that we were like, to be able to get Just Blaze back with Cam, to get Jewels with Cam when they hadn't recorded together for years, even to get Dame to talk shit at the end of a song. Like those are things that as a fan I wanted to, piece together. And I was really happy aesthetically with the video we did. And I just feel like, I only want that project to come out if it's at the quality standard that I like. So I still need a bit more verses from Cam. Hopefully we can make it happen. I think so. Cam, first of all, is a great host. We record everything at his house, and he's a fun dude to hang out with. And he's, you know, the guy's a pro, and when it comes to recording, obviously, like, he's really one of the greats ever. He's really one of the greats. But like, there's some guys that are greats and that'll spend days, you know, rewriting a verse and shit. Cam's just like, he vibes out. You see him in the corner, sort of like nodding his head, and then he goes in the booth and he records in one take, and that's it. So like, it's really easy to make those songs. Yeah. It's just a question of getting me and him in the same room, because that's one project that I don't want to do from a distance. Well, Rome's doing a project on Fool's Gold. Rome Fortune is really part of Fool's Gold now. We're going to put out his record, and he and I did, well, yeah, we did something, we recorded something together for a Low Pros thing, but we're still, he and I were on both sides. We're trying to decide on like what's the right record to put that song on, but we're going to do more anyways. But that's the homie. He's been coming out to a lot of the shows. It's funny, even just last fall when we were doing the day off events with Fool's Gold, he just always happened to be in the city that we were doing a show at. So even though we hadn't even like officially booked him on a lot of those lineups, he would just hit me the day before like, yo, New York, I'm in town. And then he would just come. He came and played the show. Then it was like, yo, I'm going to be in LA when you guys do day off. Then Atlanta, obviously. So, you know, he ended up playing at so many of our shows. I think that really helped for the relationship as well, because with an artist, sometimes there's like, it's good to develop like a certain comfort, even just like with, you know, with the relationship. So to have him, I think, know that we see him as family and that the door's always open for him. And he came to a bunch of our shows, and I, you know, brought him out during my set, which gives him, you know, a really good placement. After that, it was like, yo, let's do this project on Fool's Gold. So it all came together. The majority of the music I've been working on for the last couple months, and what's going to come out for the majority of this year is my solo material, which is kind of like the missing piece from what I've put out musically in the last many years, because I did a lot of remixes and production for other artists. And, you know, Duck Sauce is a big part of my music, but that's a collaboration. Low Pros is a collaboration. Federal Reserve, all this stuff. So I put out a single called Push last fall with a vocal from the singer Andrew Wyatt, who's the singer from Mike Snow. It's like a house record, and that has been really interesting for me, because it's, you know, I hadn't put out like just an 8-track record with like, you know, with my face on the cover, like with just my name, like my song, in a while, really. And right now in the musical landscape and everything, there's a real market for DJs as artists, more so than before. So it was kind of like exploring that a little more, and actually getting radio play for my own song, which is something I wasn't, you know, I never really went after before, and just kind of exploring that path. And I'm really happy with the way that's been, you know, resonating. So I'm, you know, finishing up a lot of more songs in a similar vein that are going to come out in the next couple months. So that's kind of my priority this year musically, is to put out more of these 8-track records. And everything else is just kind of for fun.
One sentence on Stoicville. Pretty much everybody can suck a butt after hearing this. Suck a goddamn butt. There you go.
we did a project with the dudes from We Did It and a couple of other people. That's like Slow Mo, RL Grime, Bauer, and this other dude named Deej as well. He's just coming up under them right now. He's crazy. I'm gonna just say I'm working on a big project.
Okay.
A really big project.